So I used to run a lot, and I had to get up early in the mornings, and I didn't have a dog because I had two young kids. So I decided it was time to get a dog. So back 15 years ago, there was no Facebook Marketplace, so it was a matter of going to the paper and just finding a dog. Didn't even know what he looked like. I was living in Brisbane, went to the other side of Brisbane, and he was a bit bigger than I thought. He was a bit bigger than they described him. And they actually described him as just a bitzer. They didn't really know what he was. So he was a year old, so he was going to be a good sort of running dog, I thought, which he was. So took him to the vet to get him his vaccinations and him fixed. And she said, "I think you've got a dingo there." So she did a DNA test on him, and sure enough, part dingo, part Kelpie cross. So great dog and great running dog. Yeah. Well, with all that running, I started to think when he no longer could run, whether I had done him any justice in those long runs. Thanks, Jed, but he was great for me. But it was probably when he was about 13. He's now 15. And I just noticed going up and down stairs, getting up of a night time to take him out for a walk, just a bit stiff in the legs is really the first thing I noticed. He had the storms. Oh my goodness. He's a dog that does not like thunderstorms, so doesn't cope with them very well at all. We can usually tell that a storm is coming, possibly even up to an hour before they come. He'll start to heavily pant. He'll start to whine, and then he'll be at my feet and will not move, continually to whine. So we always used to know when a storm was coming, which was evident since he's had the bed, but a change of behaviour. We have 3 dogs. 2 of them don't like the storm. He's our worst. He doesn't cope very well at all, and I think it was from when I went to pick him up out of the paper. He was just 1 year old, and he was kept out in the backyard with no cover except for a kennel which was out in the weather. So I imagine for a little puppy up until 12 months of age, living in Brisbane at that time, he would have been subjected to storms, and I think that there was a great fear that came along with that. So it just has gone through his whole life. He just needs to be next to me on cue. Is there a storm coming?
No, I was supposed to be.
I have a Tempur bed, so I sort of felt that it was going to be something along those lines. I didn't think it was going to be this beautiful lounge-looking bed. I imagined just a round bed, so it fits in with the decor, I think, perfectly, and the colours. Thank you for that, Scott. So I was very impressed with that, and also the quality of it. I mentioned to you the quality of the ribbing and the seams. Even the feel of it, it was high enough but low enough for an elderly dog, I felt, to get off it. He took to it straight away. So yeah, I was very impressed. I was concerned with the vibration because being the dingo and a Kelpie, actually, they get startled pretty easily. So I imagined when it started he may hop off. But because of the gentle raising of the vibration, it was perfect for him. I watched, and he stayed on it. I was very surprised. He doesn't like a lot of new things, so I think that comes with the breeds. So I was pleasantly surprised. We've had 2 storms, and I didn't know they were coming this time, apart from the news. Usually we look at each other and say, yeah, it's about an hour away. Okay, now he's right next to me. It's probably about 10 minutes away. We didn't even know. In fact, there was a few bouts of lightning, and it wasn't really until the thunder hit pretty close that it startled him. He had no idea. First time ever. And so that's been for the 2 storms that he has experienced while he's had the bed. So in the 14 years I've had him, that was the other night when the storms hit. So he's experienced 2 storms since we've had the bed, and I've never seen him not react. So being in the bed was the first 2 times that he's never reacted to a storm. So for his stress levels and my stress levels, was the separation anxiety he does get. He would, when I leave, he would bark for the first 5-10 minutes. He will get off his bed, go out the front and bark. He's not doing that at the moment, so I think the separation anxiety, he's a lot more settled. The relaxation of a night, he used to get in his bed and whimper, and I think that's just through the old age, getting age-related illnesses and conditions. But it seems that the bed is just relaxing him enough that whether he's not, I don't know whether it's not getting pain or he's just that relaxed that he knows that this is somewhere comfortable and he's straight off to sleep. So with the relaxation, I've noticed that he's a lot more settled in the bed. He'll stay in the bed. Because he is elderly and we do live in a 2-storey house, he does struggle a little bit to get up the stairs. So, but since having the bed, which is downstairs, he's more relaxed and he seems more comfortable to be there and let me wander around the house without him feeling the need to get up and follow me. Miss his shadow, but I think it's great for him. Of a night time, the dogs do sleep inside. We take them out for a quick walk before they go to bed, before we go to bed. Previously to the 2 weeks, what I noticed was almost instantaneously from him being in the bed that first night, when we would get up to take them out, Jed really was the last out of the bed. He didn't want to come out of the bed. He didn't want to go outside. Sorry, I've stuffed that up. Can we start again? Sorry, yeah. So previously, with the old bed that we had, we always take the dogs out for a walk before we go to bed, and they go to their final sleep overnight. Jed was always found it difficult to get out of the bed, even though it was low. He was the last to get out. He was a bit stiff, and but however, with the new bed, we find that he's getting out a lot easier. And I've looked at the height of it. It is a little bit higher than his previous bed, but I actually put it down to the actual componentry of the bed and the benefits of it, that he's getting up a lot easier. He's not as rigid, he's not as stiff. He doesn't, when we call him out, he's quicker to get out rather than lying there as if to say, well, this is going to hurt, I don't want to get out. That's my feeling of it. Sure. In the old bed, he used to whimper of a night time when we're sitting there watching TV, and I think that was just due to his ageing and maybe a bit of inflammation. However, certainly noticed a marked decrease within the first night. He no longer sits there when we're watching TV whimpering. So I think it's definitely benefiting him, the comfort level of the bed. Maybe it's reducing any pain of inflammation of arthritis that he's got. And that is again evident when he gets up of a night time to go out for that final walk. Sure. Jed's quality of life is very important to me because he has been an exceptional dog for me in many ways. He has saved me from trouble 3 times. And he's kept me company. He's been with me all the time. So got me through some pretty depressing days, you know, looking at your dog. So he means everything to me. He is aging and it is scary. It is a bit of a stress knowing that he's 15. And I try not to go there. So I would, sorry. Okay. Yeah. So I would do anything for him. I thought we had a really good bed. I thought we had a high quality bed, but definitely the difference that I've seen remarkably in 2 weeks, Scott, when you said you were coming back, to see me in 2 weeks. I thought, oh, gee, I don't know what I'll see in 2 weeks. I thought it might have needed a bit longer than that. But as I said, from the first night, it was remarkable, the difference. So the quality, I mean, we all sleep on beautiful beds. As I said, we sleep on Tempur beds. So get him the best because he's given me the best. So he does obviously have the stiff joints of an elderly dog. So we, with the other 2 dogs, are younger, and in that mix is a 3-year-old who runs around with the ball. So we take him to the park, the other 2, and they're ball crazy, him not so. But what he started to do is now run around after the 2 that are chasing the ball. He has no interest in the ball, but he will chase them. Now, to see a 15-year-old suddenly start to chase these younger dogs is so mind-blowing. It really is. Yeah.
How long since he's done that?
He probably hasn't done that for about 8 months prior to getting the bed. So I see his quality of life and his enjoyment of life. I think it's all about, rather than just sleep all day, because he's too sore or too inflamed to get up, he's getting that quality of life back. So I'm super impressed. The way I would summarise Dog Cloud is that it's a lifestyle for a dog. It's not just about sleeping, it's about giving them the quality of life. And I've only seen that with, I've bought some pretty expensive beds, and I've only seen that with the Dog Cloud brand. Yeah. Dog Cloud bed sits right next to me, as I said, because look at him, he's always next to me. So it sits right next to where I sit on the couch. I was surprised with how quiet it was. It does have a slight, you can hear a slight little murmur. It's like a helicopter in the background when you first hear it, and now I don't hear it at all. The eco factor, start again. The eco-friendly factor was very important to me. It was one reason why I looked at the Dog Cloud brand, and therefore I was surprised, as I said before, by the quality of it though, because some eco-friendly manufacturers don't look for the quality, and I think you've got the great mix there. I actually, the feel of the vibration when it first started, it brought a smile to my face, because I thought, I don't have that vibration in my bed, so I'm glad Jed's got it. To be totally honest, I had an injury that week, and I actually sat my leg on the bolster while it was vibrating to get the benefit of it as well. I think the benefit of the vibration is of the night time when he gets up. He didn't want to go out for that last walk, and I think it was because at the end of the day he's tired. He's ran around the park with the young kids, because he hadn't been doing that. And I think that that last one was just an effort. But within 2 nights, he was getting up and wanting to. I've forgotten what your question was. Sorry. Yeah, I was really surprised. As I said, when you said you were coming back in 2 weeks, I didn't think that was going to be long enough, but it really was by that second night that he jumped out of the bed, which was my concern, was that night time. When he gets out, he was very, very stiff. And that second night, he got out and he just wasn't stiff. And I turned and said, what's in that bed? Can I get some of that? No, I haven't really, but it's interesting that the 3-year-old, as soon as Jed does get out of the bed, because he spends a lot of time in there, but when he does, the 3-year-old sees his opening and will come across and steal the bed. And Jed comes back and just looks at him, but being the alpha, the 3-year-old gets out. But I think the 3-year-old really loves it, yes. And the Border Collie as well, who's almost 12, she's definitely down the rung as in alpha, so she doesn't try and steal it from him, but we tried her in it because she had an operation when she was young for a broken leg, and she's now got a leg that sticks out in a bit of a funny angle. So as she's getting older, she's getting arthritis. So we've put her on it as well. And what we're noticing with her is the morning walks. So the morning she was most stiff, and her morning walk it has been looks a lot more less painful for her. Yeah, I think I would describe it as I'd put it back to the value that they've been your companion, they've been your loyal, they've been there by your side all your life. And if it was a family member, wouldn't you look for the best quality bed that you could get them? And that's how I look at my best mate here. So that's why I look towards the Dog Cloud brand and to get him in one. Yeah. So because I wanted the best for him, being the much loved and companion that he is, I have tried very expensive beds, all up and down the ranges, from all sorts of price points, all sort of miracle things that were offered and promised, and that might have initially, I thought, but I think it was more me wishing because of all the money I'd spent on these beds. But definitely the Dog Cloud has been hands down the best. Not only we talked about the quality, not only the quality and the eco-friendly, but the results that a 15-year-old dog has managed to gain from it, and to be running around after a younger and an 11-year-old and a 3-year-old dog is remarkable. I'm ecstatic. Yeah, I'm over the moon. Yeah, as I said, to be able to give something back to him for all that he's given me in his 15 years. Yeah, nothing but the best.
So good. The dingoes can live to 25.
They can live to 25 in the wild. He is crossed with a Kelpie, so I was a little bit concerned a few months ago, but now that he's running around, I'm looking forward to a few more years yet. With him coming home and sleeping on the Dog Cloud.
I'm so happy for you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Teddy, you're going to be all sorted. Champ, you're going to be loving it. Wait till you get the different massage modes in there. Yeah. So we'll pop him on the bed and...
Yeah, so you're finished with questions?
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of
Leave
anything
the
else.
mic on,
I think
just
if there was
in
a-
case there's something
Well, I think
striking.
I'd like to probably capture just, this feels amazing on the bed.
Yeah.
You don't want to do
Yeah.
something like that.
As in for
Just-
yourself,
Just for you.
your
just-
own feet on it.
Well, let's yeah. Well, I think as Sam mentioned, sort of sitting by the TV
Yeah.
and then Jed stays there, it might be nice to get a shot of that. But yeah, just the whole, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be able to use it because it feel a bit contrived if we're... But yeah, but that's great. Oh, that's...
Yeah.
And when you go to the actual therapy graphs, they're colour coded based on what they've completed. So you can just have a squiz around and say add a dog bed, QR code, and then once you take a photo of the QR code, it grabs a fake, at the moment it's a fake serial number.
No,
Do you want me to just kick it in? Feel free.
Do you want him facing the other way?
No,
Because
that's
he's
fine.
very compliant. I can get him to...
No, that's cool. We'll be moving around. Sound like you're just watching TV. Just
Okay.
chilling out.
Yeah. I put the phone away.
Chill without it. Well-trained dogs, but we don't always use particularly film dogs. But she's that good that give her a day with the dog. We give her a pre-day, and she'll work with the owner. And then basically the owner will come with the dog on the shoot, and then Katie will be there to help. And it's amazing what she can do. Yeah, It's all food based. So I'll call you in
Okay.
again. And when you're ready, Rob. Okay, so just come in and just give him a pat, like, you know, give him a rub.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
You big softy.
Stay.
Yeah, big softy. Oh, that's good. I don't know why I always ask cats are. It's like, it's crazy, isn't it? The guy used to be like that with me. Just wonder if we pick up any vibration again with the paws maybe, or the bumming out like we did with the, yeah, true.
But it is on, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'd be alright if Rob got super close to him.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to really show it with bigger, then for every other dog it'll be the same.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like it's there.
yeah, yeah. Moving straight at it.
It's immaculate. They know.
Yeah.
So one of the when we did the shoot with the 7 dogs, there was a Pomeranian, and her name was Minnie, I think, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
maybe,
So
yeah, actually it is.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Can you now,
It's CJ.
Rob? Are
I
you
wanna
seeing
show you.
Sam?
Kneecaps.
Right. Can you just bring the phone back up in the app and just have it in your hand? So Rob, will you see that? If you just go to a point. You just
Do
check
you want
in.
the brightness turned up on the phone? Is it too? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It'd be good to get that natural head actually resting sort of moment.
Jed, come. Hey.
Yeah. What was the story with your background with that TV dog, Sam? Back in the day? Which one was it again? 'Cause Matt wouldn't remember it.
He was, I was 11, I think.
Yeah.
So we're talking in the 80s.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
He was a singing dog.
He was what?
A singing dog.
Singing dog.
He was on the Don Lane show.
Oh, was he?
And
Was he your dog?
he was my dog. Yeah, I trained him. I was always done obedience with them, and so he was very well trained. So he went on the Don Lane show, and he sung there. And then we were on the front page of the Herald Sun at that time, and New Idea. And then he was on some RSPCA ads.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
He's a real
were you in
scruffy.
Melbourne? Were you
Yeah,
from
I'm a
Melbourne?
Melbourne girl.
So am
Yeah,
I, so, yeah.
I'm an Essendon girl.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I was country Victoria, but yeah,
Right.
maybe Melbourne too. But
Couple of Collingwoods
my
there.
parents were Essendon people. Moonee Ponds, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother lived in Moonee Ponds. Great area.
It is a good area.
What did you think of the grand final? What did you think
Oh, it
of
was
the
an exciting grand final, except for the pre-entertainment.
Oh,
I saw your. I jumped on that.
At least the kids had gone to sleep so we can watch the footy or something. Like, it was so bad. Like, you get then Wolf Mother come on and that actually like picked it all
That's
up,
how it
which
should
was-
have been.
That's how the whole thing should have been. Just, I don't know who does them. Every year the music is terrible for AFL. That's the one thing. It's the only
They
thing.
do a shocking job.
The only thing NRL does better than
Yeah.
AFL is their grand final performance.
I've never understood how they get it so
I just,
bad.
it's,
Yeah.
but it wasn't good covers. It was like slow covers.
Yeah.
It,
That's
the
grand
songs,
final.
the song choices were like, what's the words to this song? I don't.
There's just a science
Can you
of what
just
works
do
at
more
stadiums.
scrolling?
Just
Sure.
Seriously, like, it was
Sorry, Sam.
That's all right.
some love song that, and I'm just.
What do you reckon, Jed? What'll we do for you, eh?
Terrible. And it was almost like the. Oh, mate.
Mind you, you